Hi, I'm David Johnson, pastor of New Tabor Brethren Church here in Caldwell, Texas, and this is Bible Boost. Now, today's subject is Storm the Castle. Now, not long ago, America suffered a black eye. After the election, a lot of people were very emotional, as they always are, and in an attempt to rectify a troubled U.S. election, the nation's capital was stormed. And you remember the images. It was troubling. I don't know that anybody that I know of that would have been cheering that action, because they went in, they ransacked offices, and they were disrespectful of the nation's capital, the seat of our government. Now, nothing good came of it. I told my wife while that was happening, I said, what are they thinking? I mean, once you get into the building, you look at each other and say, now what are we going to do? You know it's not sustainable. And, I just couldn't think of anything good that could ever possibly come from that act. And when all this happened, there were several people that were killed. One of the protesters was a former female veteran in our armed services that had a child. And she was killed, shot and killed. What a disaster. That was very troubling to many of us. We looked like Venezuela. We looked like Romania or Haiti in their elections. It was embarrassing. And this was all done by people that were pursuing a purpose. Can't deny them that. I mean, there was real passion there. And they were seeking a purpose. They just went about it the wrong way out of frustration. Child of God, Christian, listen to me very carefully. You were born for greater things than politics. I'm not saying that we shouldn't be a part of the political process. I absolutely have a voice in every election. I have 6 people in my family, in my immediate family, and we vote. And we confer before we vote. And we talk about our votes. So I am part of the political process, and I absolutely have an opinion. But going about things that way and pursuing politics to that measure, it's not what you're called for. God created you to do greater things. Now, Jesus also stormed a hill, but he did it for the greater good, and that hill was called Calvary. His purpose was to pay a debt that we had incurred, that he did not owe. And he then established the Great Commission. So Jesus has done some storming of his own, but when he storms things, great things come of it. And there's a purpose and there's a reason. And he knew what he was going to do when he got there to win the loss. This is the purpose. This is your purpose, is to win the loss. That's why you were born. To bring as many people with you to heaven as you possibly can. This is our purpose. This is why we are alive. And there is no greater campaign than that. Be careful when you're following human campaigns. Matthew chapter 28, verses 18 through 20 says, Jesus came to them and said, all authority in heaven and on earth has been given to me. Therefore, go and make disciples of all nations, baptizing them in the name of the Father and the Son and of the Holy Spirit, and teaching them to obey everything I've commanded you. And surely I'm with you always to the very end of the age. All human campaigns, all political campaigns are temporary. Administrations, political regimes, governments, and empires, they come and go. They all do. None of them are permanent. You represent the permanent, the eternal, the kingdom of heaven. Matthew 24 and verse 35 says, heaven and earth will pass away. These campaigns and political parties, everything's going to pass away, even America. But my words will never pass away. So, child of God, your real purpose is found in the eternal, not the political. And it comes with power. Acts chapter 1 and verse 8 simply states, but you will receive power when the Holy Spirit comes on you, and you will be my witnesses in Jerusalem and in all Judea and Samaria and to the ends of the earth. Are you lacking power? Then ask God to fill you with the baptism of the Holy Spirit, and you will receive that power to do what you were called to do. Let's put our priority in changing the world, not just America. God bless you. I'll see you next time on Bible Boost.